Hey guys, AB here from B&H, and today we're taking a look at Sound Device's MixPre-10M. We're going to open the box, take a look inside, and see what makes this a little bit different than the other units in the MixPre series. You'll notice right away that there's a nice plastic seal keeping the unit safe and secure. Inside the box, we have an included power supply, which is fantastic, an IEC cable, and some documentation and stickers. And here we go, the MixPre-10M. Full disclosure, this is the first time I've actually used a Sound Devices unit. The mic pre's are very quiet, they're cashmere mic pre's, very low noise, very high quality. There are 8 combo XLR TRS jacks, and you have 4 on each side. As you work your way around the unit, you'll also see that there's a mini jack in, which is called aux mic in, and you also have a headphone output. The headphone control knob is actually also the menu selector. So basically when you're going through the menu, you just literally press it in and it will make that selection for you. So taking a look at the front, we see that there are 8 knobs and each one corresponds to the mic input. And of course, once you've recorded something, each one works as a mixing level button. Pretty simple, and the lights indicate different things depending on which mode you're in. If you're clipping, they would pulse red. If you're okay and they're receiving signal, they'll be nice and green. But very easy to see where things are happening. And what I love about this really is that when you touch a button, it automatically selects the track for you on the screen. It's touch sensitive, you touch it, and it takes you to that track, then you can simply go through the menu and hit any parameter you want. When you look at the back of the unit, it's pretty simple. You've got a battery sled that holds 8 AA batteries. This comes with a 10M, but the nice thing is that it also comes with the 4-pin Hiroshi cable for wall power, which is very convenient. The other units don't come with that, so that's kind of a bonus when you buy the 10M. Essentially, this has a digital patch bay inside it. You can route any input to any track, no matter where you're plugged in. So, for example, if you've got a guitar plugged into track 1, or into the input 1, I should say, and you're tracking your guitar part, you love what you just did, now you want to overdub it, or do a harmony, or solo on top of that. Rather than having to unplug that and put it into the other jack, you literally just go into the digital patch bay and just select track 2 as the destination and keep track 1 as your source. On the side that has XLR TRS combo ports 1 through 4, you will also see 2 USB ports, USB Type A, USB Type C. You need to know that this is not bus powered. You can't use those ports to bus power the unit. However, if you want to use this as an interface between what you're recording on the outside and your DAW inside your computer, that's when you would use a USB cable, depending on which form factor you have. The other nice thing is that this USB port will also allow for backing up your recording. So for example, the MixPre-10M records to an SD card. It can simultaneously record to a USB flash drive, which makes it great. So you're not worried about, hey, what happens if I lose this or my thing gets erased? You've already created a backup. It can also record to your DAW simultaneously. So not only are you recording to the SD card, you can also record to a DAW if you happen to use your computer when you're using this unit. But of course, this unit was not made necessarily to be used with the computer exclusively. And you can tell by how they designed this interface to be used for people recording music. They put in certain functionalities built into the 10M that are really not available for the other units. For example, overdubbing. Once you've recorded a performance and you want to add extra parts to that performance, whether it's vocals or guitars or whatever, you can actually go back to the beginning, start recording again, keep what you had before, and lay stuff on top of that. And they also added effects. I love the fact that Sound Devices put 3 different reverb algorithms in the 10M. Plate, hall, and room, which is kind of cool. So you can choose which effect you really want to use on a particular track, and you can either apply that effect during the recording process if you're looking for a very specific sound, or you can apply it after the fact. There's also an effect called the air effect, which really boosts this top-end airy, shimmery type of sound to your vocal. You may find it useful, especially if you're like making a pop record and you want to see what it could possibly sound like. The reverb can be used on all tracks. The air effect can only be used on one track. So it's important to know that that's really a specific thing geared towards the vocal, or really the lead vocal. So let's talk about the metronome. I like the fact that the metronome can be used on playback, it can be used during recording, and of course they have a very handy count-in feature. It's called on during, and it lets you choose when the metronome should actually play. And you can put the count in for a count-in, obviously. Record means that it'll play as you're recording, and play means that it'll play while you're playing back what you already recorded. The other cool feature that I like, bouncing. And what that really means is that if you've got a bunch of tracks that you've recorded and you want to free up some space, all you do is you record those tracks down to a single track or maybe even 2 tracks, and you free up additional space to record more material. Very useful. Right here on the front panel, under the 4th knob, there's an internal microphone, so if you're in a situation where you don't have a mic and you need to record something quickly or you want to remember that scratch track, you just choose this and record what you need, and you at least have it there for later when you can revisit and record with a real microphone. If you're a professional film shooter or videographer and you work on projects that really require time code, you should just get the 10T because it has everything you need. This is really geared towards musicians. And if you're looking for something that has DAW functionality without need for a computer, then the 10M is really your machine. It's very portable, it's got multi-track recording, built-in effects, and you can really do a lot with this box no matter where you are. If you really want to know what the MixPre-10M sounds like, check out the video we did on Intro to Modular Synths. I used the MixPre-10M to record our entire setup. This is AB from B&H. Thanks for watching.